Why Supreme Ventures let him go? If you, Jamaica, if I ever, no, me have to take on that one day when me fully heal Jamaica. But go ask yourself tonight, Jamaica, why Supreme Ventures let him go?
Why SV let him go?
And in 2008, he had to resign from the JUTC. Why did he have to resign from the JUTC? The resignation of Bingley Sangster, Ray Barrett, and Dennis Chung come a day after the JUTC board confessed that it had breached procurement guidelines at the company in recent months. Here they are. He confessed, Jamaica. He confessed, Courtney, that they breach Jamaica, breach procurement guidelines. He confessed that he breached procurement guidelines. And then his Meadows must go head FID. No, we're not accepting it. We Jamaican people are not accepting it. Hello, good night.
Good night, Professor.
Yes.
Let me deal with Dennis the Menace, please. Because Dennis the Menace does not have what is called a CAMS. It's a certificate of anti-money laundering specialist. Yeah. In every FIU, we say FID in Jamaica.
Yes.
Yeah? But FIUs, particularly the Caribbean Islands that do what is called citizenship by investments, they must have an FIU unit, a financial investigative unit.
Yes.
Yeah. He has no specialty in anti-money laundering because Jamaica don't even deal with half of some of the money that these countries deal with. Just to acquire a passport in Grenada is about 180,000. Yeah. So they have to trace the monies and so he has no certificate in anti-money laundering. He's not a specialist. That's one. Two, is conflicted by having a personal relationship with Andrew and Christopher. They cried us together. So not just Andrew alone. This is Christopher's personal friend.
My God.
Yeah. You know, done there. Dennis Chung must tell us how it is that he could get the government to change the requirements as per FATF. You heard Comrade Bunting spoke about FATF, which is the Financial Action Task Force.
Yes.
But you have FATF, which is the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force, which Jamaica is a signatory.
Yes.
And what that says is that the persons you bring into these positions must be in line with what is the international requirement for the Financial Action Task Force.
Yes.
So there's a standard for persons who head these units, and they're typically persons who were previously investigators or worked at central banks.
Mighty God.
What can go so?
What is the head boy?
In Antigua, the head of the FIU is a former investigator in the police force, which deals with financial crime.
Yes.
That's one. In St. Lucia, the same. In Dominica, they just brought in somebody from actually overseas because they want to clean up their citizenship by investment program to ensure that they are because they're almost losing every access to the financials. I want people to understand the position that Dennis Chung is going to occupy will determine if Jamaicans can have access to international banking, you know.
What you said?
The position the man going to occupy can determine if banks in Jamaica will acquire correspondent banking relationships.
What you said?
Help. We hear the
We need a divine intervention. Repeat that, head boy.
And
repeat that
position that is going to occupy require it is fundamental to our passing correspondent banking relationships with the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and the EU.
This does sound safe.
So you can't just pick up any, you can't just shake off anybody off of the road and fling them in there. Because what it means is that your rating. Remember, Jamaica was on the grey list, you know.
Yes.
The grey list, let me explain to people what the grey list means.
Yes, explain
it
the grey
means that your internal systems in a country now work to counter money laundering and financing of terrorism. So the second, once you're off that list, which we just got the chance to do the other day, it says that your mechanisms, and thanks to the last man who operate the post, I think it was just what the Ghanaian sent, just Stewart, right? He did all the framework to ensure that we came off that list. That is why I made a pressure Andrew Wellness and his friend them for sure where they have.
Mighty God.
And teacher, you say on this quickly, because I don't want to take up the program. You see this thing about the guns? The guns I want to talk about.
Talk about the guns. Talk about the guns.
Is Wish Farmer MP, is Wish Farmer Labour Right MP occupy building 214 where they find the gun?
Ball out!
Continue.
It was previously owned by James Robertson's father.
Yes.
Yeah. But it is no longer owned by James Robertson's father or the son. It is owned by a former MP in West Rural St. Andrew.
Gallimore.
Yes, it is. Now the question is, there's only two ways the thing could come from there.
Yeah.
It come from down at KFTL Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited, or it come from the General Wharf, which is owned by the Chinese. That's all?
Yes.
Now, in order for it to leave there, those two ports, it said that they were scanned.
Mighty God.
And the contents were, by the way, we need to know when they discovered the container, was the seal broken? Was the seal broken?
Was the seal what?
Broken. If then they broke the seal, you're not playing old Jamaican language.
Mighty God.
Did they break the seal? Because if the seal was broken, it meant that it should not have gone through scanning.
Mighty God.
Understand who is the consignee? Who is this consigned to? Who is going to collect it? Put it in a plain old language.
Who is the consignee? Yes.
Because the last find that we had,
yes,
we knew that this consignee was in Manchester.
What you said?
Remember they had a finding and then could tell us Manchester the gun then this figure.
Yeah.
So who is the consignee
for this one? For this one.
They need to publish the name. Of course, there must be a consignee.
What happened to the case with Rev?
Repeat that name.
What happened to the case with Rev? You remember that Rev case? You know, remember about that Rev case? You know, see how that Rev case has gone silent.
Yeah, but remember, this is the mechanisms and this is what Mr. Chung is being brought to do at the FID, to silence the matter surrounding the Prime Minister. Let me tell people, you know, if this man becomes the head of the FID, you know,
yes,
forget about Usain Bolt money and forget about the monies that have passed through questionable member of parliament or ministers of government.
You know that this is big. Him going there to cut off all investigations, you know. So you're not going to hear about no more illicit enrichment, you know. Him going to come and say, him going to find some financial ways to tell you, nothing no go so. Yes, man. Yes, Courtney. That is what he's going to do.
He should not be appointed to his position. And let me tell you why. A sensitive post like that should allow the general election to run and then the incoming government. If it evens the JLP, let them appoint who them want. But for the reality of it, you cannot, 3 months out of an election, you're going to appoint a man to the most sensitive position in the end. The man more powerful than the Minister of Finance, you know?
Mighty God.
He determines what is legal or illegal money. Let me put it straight to people.
Really?
So if him say, Andrew Wellness now do money laundering, then the FID will give that report to the courts and the courts will abide by it.
Mighty God.
This is the power of the man. And every Jamaican must go up on the road as early as Monday, man. And the PNP should not wait. The 72 hours that expired. Take the road. take the road, because if you don't take the road now, what you're going to have is a man who's going to sit there and allow persons to launder money. Jamaica already suffering from the reputation of money laundering.
Mighty God.
What make you think we can't get access to certain international banking? Imagine if the TikTokers in Jamaica could easily open an account in Dubai, open an account in the US. If we were compliant in most of the things, we could easily open an account. UK citizens can open an account in the US. Caribbean citizens in the OECS and wider Caribbean can open accounts in the US. So why can't we? Because we're not fully compliant.
And then having
this man, go ahead, Prof.
And then having him here now compromises the entire financial system of Jamaica.
But not only the financial system, what it does, it also blocks possible funding and loans for Jamaica. Let's look at this. Anytime you're not compliant with FATF, it blocks you from the financial market.
Yes.
Yeah. So imagine the private sector companies in Jamaica, and the private sector should not sit down and allow this to happen, because them a ball board can't access to US currency and different things. It's no, you can't access nothing. Because you may very well run the risk of being labeled similar to what is happening in North Korea, in Syria, in Yemen. Because once you make the list, them call that list now. That is the list that the Americans refer to as the sanctions for foreign countries.
So how then did PIOJ endorse him then?
Let me tell you the PSOJ. Andre, you know it, and let us not skirt around it. 70% of them were never making the money they are making now until Andrew Wallace. So you think them are going to do nothing to go against Andrew? Imagine you are rent out Desmond Mackenzie, are rent out Littleton Shirley Building and Mitchell's Auto Parts on Agri Park Road for the Ministry of Local Government, particularly for his office, when you have other buildings available for government.
Wow.
So you think the private sector going to oppose the JLP? Let us not be stupid. It's the people of Jamaica who are going to have to oppose the JLP and have to show them that we are serious about the integrity of our country. They don't care. They don't care. The private sector's belly is full. When you can give them, but look on it, 15 million versus 31 million. When you can give a man 3 times more than what him actually value, or 2 times more than what the business value. No, must tell you, say, you think. And the contractors, and I said to the MPs as I go, watch out for the contracts that's being issued in your communities, PNP caretakers and candidates, watch out for them, because that is how the money is going to be spent on the ground.
Mighty God.
These late contracts, bushing is due, hurricane preparation is due. Let me tell you, those contracts are going to kill. So make sure you monitor and stay with your people. Teacher, I'm now going to take over the rest of the night.
Mighty God. Good night, head boy.
All the best, my brother.
Listen to what Donna Scott Motley said. Listen to what Donna Scott Motley said, Jamaica.
This investigation into the Prime Minister, the allegation of illicit enrichment, is indeed the most consequential matter which has happened to us since independence. Never before in the history of Jamaica have we had a Prime Minister under investigation for corruption. And today I simply want to say this. Where are the honorable men and women in our country? Where are those men and women on whom this country has conferred national honors? Where are the professionals? Where's the private sector? Where are the church leaders? Because this will appear to you as though it is a narrow partisan political matter. It is not. It is about reaching for the very soul of our democracy. It is about the protection of our democratic institutions. Because when you corrupt An institution such as this, which as Julian and Peter have made clear, have an international reputation. When you do that, you are failing the nation and you are setting the tone for actions which undermine the institutions which must uphold our traditions and which must reflect who we are.
Jamaica. Are you going to sit down and allow this to happen Monday morning? Courtney, I need to know where Dennis Chung sits. I need to know, Jamaica, where Dennis Chung sits. Even if I'm one. Even if I'm one, Jamaica.
You want to know him sits?
Even if I'm one, I have to stand up out there. Even if I'm one, Jamaica. I have to go stand up out there and say wrong is wrong and right is right. Even Jamaica, if I'm one, I have to stand out there. Wrong is wrong, Courtney.
All right.
And right is right.
He said not a problem with the Prime Minister of 28 pounds.
Him not have no problem.
You remember? People remember.
No problem, Jamaica.
He said no problem.
People of Jamaica, the man say has no problem.
With the Prime Minister of 28 pounds.
And you're going to tell me.
No problem.
No problem.
Just imagine.
The PNP has given them 72 hours. Favor says she's supporting him. Andrew has support him. Government has support him. You hear what she say? We stand behind. We stand behind this election of Dennis Chung to lead FID, says the finance minister. We stand behind.
1 million a month.
We stand behind Courtney.
Stand up behind me, man.
But I can't stand behind Dennis Chung.
Yeah.
Dennis Chung, where is your moral fiber?
Be a good friend.
Yes, man. He has not taken my call, Courtney. Since Dennis Chung got this appointment, he has not taken my call. Many times, Courtney, you hear me and him talking. He has not taken my call.
Enough time him call you.
What you say, Courtney?
You say enough time him call you.
Courtney, talk. What you say?
Enough time Dennis Chung call Andre Stevens. Call me dead. Enough time him call. And him call you back?
And I am telling you, Courtney, I sent him a WhatsApp message in the answer. Me call him about 4 times. Shame. Shame, Dennis Chung, a shame. Dennis Chung, you shame me. You embarrass me.
Hello.
Hello, good night.
Good night, Andre. You see, Andrew, all of the thief them, you know the best place for them. You know, when you go to town and you drive past the place where the acid there, they want to go over the side, all of them want to go. Because of the wickedest set of people them I ever see. And the people them want to then jump up in Andrew in other country. And they don't see Andrew they laugh after all of them. When you look in Andrew's face when he might talk about him belly full, take a good look in the man's face. You know, when they game people, look good in Andrew's face. Andrew they rejoice over a lot of things when they do. A lot of things when they do.
You know, I'll tell you how bad it is. He makes sure say silence Usain Bolt. You know, see the chess game. In silent Usain Bolt by giving Usain ambassador. You know, see
right.
You know, see him come now, put Dennis fi shut up that the investigation in the election. You know, see that? Him a put.
Andre, we have to come out and demonstrate, you know, Andre. Every PNP, we have to come out, people who not want this, we have to come out and demonstrate. People have to take it to the street. This can't happen. It can't happen.
Mighty God.
All them gun, they were fine. If I were one PNP man gun, in here would have called a long time.
All right,
Yes.
caller. I hear you loud and
Yes.
clear. All right?
All right, yes.
Hello, good night.
Yes.
Yes, caller.
Andre, you know, so we are look too far, you know. We are look too far. Dennis Strong have one job to do, you know, and if we get away the Prime Minister, Dennis Strong would have get $100 million to just do that and go on about his business, you know.
What you say?
Andrew Owners is in so much problem that he will pay a person 100 or 200 million to just get him off of the whole part Sydney, you know. So that's all him will use Dennis Strong to do, you know. Get way. So from Dennis Strong go and clear his name and say him see no wrongdoing. Dennis Strong can resign, you know.
Mighty God.
That is the only purpose. Dennis Chung on a track record. Remember, say $4 billion couldn't be accounted for a solid waste. A $4 billion couldn't be accounted for a JUTC. From Dennis Chung go export a JFF. The senior reggae girls play for Jamaica because the money where they win, Dennis Chung no give them.
Mighty God.
Then share amongst themselves and give Pitney them half. You know, see why you think the whole of the senior reggae girls they no play for Jamaica for more than a year.
Mighty God.
The money where they win, if you go through the first round, you would get X. If you go through the round of 16, you would get the next money.
Yeah.
And that the money then take you and share it up amongst themselves and give them what they feel like.
Mighty God. And when him did their solid waste, where so much money? Well,
$4 billion a solid waste. Couldn't be accounted for. I remember saying, he say, no, when I'm going for solid waste, no, him claims that he not do an internal investigation and he find $30 million we couldn't be accounted for. Now, remember, go back to his story then, man.
mighty God.
I remember saying, then come with all the garden after I lose him election and make an executive director and put over Dennis Chung, you know. Remember, say him in a run, you know, and then come with all the garden as an executive director and put over Dennis Chung.
No, sir.
The amount of places where Dennis Strong, the amount of board and places where Dennis Strong go, he can't be an honest person.
Mighty God.
Because if you is as good as them say you do, how you don't have a job for 5 or 10 years, a 2 year, 3 year, and you run here, so you got.
Him never stay nowhere
The
long
amount of places where him work in a film little lifetime. How that possible? I'm 116 high profile job in have, you know.
So you say him turnover rate too quick?
No man, he couldn't good man. Let me have one football and me can stay one team for 5 years. Then put me out on loan or put me there. So that mean me not good.
You have a solid point there, sir. So you say
if you everybody where you know good have 40 year our one place, 50 year one place in the day from him come in a place, tell the bankers, you hear bankers, the teachers, 40 year service, police, 40 year service. And you are Dennis Strong and you have about 16 or 18 place where you move in a short career.
No, sir, that don't look good for your international resume. Because when you go in front of the human resource, them would have asked you why you're moving so much.
The only purpose Dennis Strong is and Dennis Chung and Andrew Owners have agreed on that already.
My God.
Me put me bet my life on that. I just get Andrew off a case.
Oh, and then him find somewhere else go again.
And then come out get him well paid. Him have no purpose. I know nothing to go do with no agent. I just we put somebody. Remember, you know, him deep in a case already, you know.
Yes.
And you decide say you still stay there. You don't have no shame, no moral, you not left, you can't left. When me are Dana and all of the people that talk.
Yes.
Look, all right, let me give you an next example. Look on the last 5 people where Andrew picked to the Senate.
Yes.
what is their purpose?
Nothing.
We go in the street, go make nice for Andrew.
Except the land.
Then you see, not the land, the only person. When all they make nice are the one when they are America, the ambassador. Everybody else are nice they make for Andrew. Them not do not, they not contribute to nothing to the country. I just nice 100 them at defend. I just say then run out.
You mean the bulldog one? Him disrespect.
No, bulldog alone.
Him disrespect the Jackson
Bruce Golding daughter. He want to say my education minister. Look on all she. Look on this stupid garbage where she stand up attack.
Stay tuned for more PDTV News Evening Highlights. Remember to show your support. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.